we are back for another. Wow, why am I so low on the camera? Why? You guys tell me if I'm moving mad low. Listen, we're back for another episode of Big Six Pants. It's a Liverpool show. Yes, Liverpool content. It's been a while. I haven't complained in a while. You know, I might seem, maybe a little bit, what's the word? Ungrateful, because my team's one of the best teams in the world, and we have one of the best squads in the world. But we want more. I want more. The fan base want more. So what we're going to do, we're going to talk about it. Of course, I had to bring some real Liverpool fans, the Scouts guy himself. It's actually his debut on the channel. That's crazy. So I need to be doing better in that department. But for real, you lot actually don't. You know that ain't who you think it is. Like,
I know that ain't who I think it is.
It's Mr. Jack Mack. How you doing, brother?
Big up, man. Thank you very much for having me on, mate. Always a pleasure. And it's hopefully a good day, everyone. Nice weather. Talking about the Reds. Happy days.
Happy days, man. Good to have you on. And we're about to, really dig into some Liverpool politics. Yeah, can't wait. Woo! But
yes.
I've got one more in the back. Obviously, been on the channel a few times now. But yeah, man, when we're talking all things Liverpool, you can't not be in the video. You know what I'm saying?
I know that ain't who I think it is.
Boys, how's everyone?
Not too bad, mate, for you.
Could be better. Could be better. It's just, who do we blame today? Who do we blame? It's the blame game. You know what I'm saying?
It's a new. It's going to be Liverpool's name, ain't it? The blame game.
But listen, there's 14 people right off the bat. So what I want you guys to do ASAP is just slap a like. I don't know how many likes you got, but it better be 15. I know we got 40 people, but it better be 15. You know what I'm saying? This is straight Liverpool content. This is the stuff that made this channel. I know a lot of this channel is Liverpool fans, not gonna lie. But yeah, let's, Liverpool channel. So let me just get to some of the comments. Jay Lings was here mad early, though, saying he's coming Man City next season. Relax, my bro. Relax. Big up Jay Lings, though. Relax. He's not off. It's not off. It's just not happening this summer, which is not a surprise. Personally, I think we're going to go for him next season. But when I say off, I meant obviously this season, but I didn't have enough characters in the title to say Jude Bellingham deal is off this window and we might go for him next window. I just don't have enough. I just don't have enough in the title. You know what I'm saying? So, big up Ethan, part of Big Six Pants, smash the like. You heard him. You heard the man. Obviously Jack there in the comments. I wonder who that is. Jack? I wonder who that is. Pablo here since 5 p.m. Early bird, man. Year before me. Crazy. Big up yourself. Big up Ravi. He's big up yourself. He says, just asking your thoughts. Is it really that bad that we ain't getting a midfielder when we have Jones, Carvalho, and them man in midfield? We will get to it.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get to it. Man like Shawnee, it has been a while. Brilliant to see you back in the chat. Hope you're doing well. Hope the family's good. He also says, big up the panel. Roms as well. Unfortunately, couldn't be here. If anyone's going to talk FSG, it's usually going to be Roms, but unfortunately, he's not here for this one, but we'll probably be in for the next one. So, all good. Andra, good to see you. Says, I've watched the whole Liverpool live today, and oh boy, Liverpool did some finishing training, and Nunes was absolutely awful. Couldn't even hit the target. 4 out of 5. I mean, I'm not going to say anything. It's just training, but I'm not going to be the negative Nelly today. But you guys know my opinion on that one. So obviously, and of course, it's very good to see Jack on the Big Six Pants.
Awesome.
Let's just get straight into it. Let's just get straight into the nitty gritty.
Yep.
The press conference. Klopp's words on Bellingham. Either of you can go first. What's your thoughts on that? I'm just going to go straight into it.
Go on, Jack. You go.
Yeah, it was interesting. He's the master of the dark arts, really, in terms of negotiating. He answered it as much as he possibly could. And obviously, as we'll speak about tonight, I think it was more or less a point of really trying to potentially get players out the door. I feel it. I done a video on my channel a couple of weeks ago, saying that it was potentially getting the deal, getting agreed, and all that. But I think it makes sense long term. I can't foresee him going to Real Madrid. Obviously, they've got Camavinga, Tchouaméni, a lot of great young midfielders, Valverde as well. So, and Man City, interesting to see if Gundogan does go next summer. But Jurgen, he's a master of his words, isn't he? When you listen to him, the way in which he speaks about politics as well off the pitch. If he says something, it's for a reasoning, and that exact reason. And he spoke about, obviously, Ward still having business to do. So, still, we'll find out.
Oh, Savage, so dressed. Wait, Savage, if you're free, jump in this. I need to hear your views as well. By the way, sorry to interrupt you, Jack. Carry
That's
on.
fine. No, it's all right. Finished. Yeah, I think he will eventually come. I think it's a matter of, we'll probably speak about midfielders tonight, mate. But Ox, I don't think anyone wants Ox. Obviously, we'll be going on a free next summer. And I think any dealings Liverpool do, it tends to obviously, the wages and the freeing up space within the squad, potentially. So it's a big issue.
I mean, I thought you was calmer than I thought you'd be for that one. So
Yeah, don't get me started on Ox, Christ. You have a whole. I know people go off on little mixed concerts and all that. Yeah, go in deep.
This is a bit crazy, but yeah, Jamie.
Yeah.
Don't go too hard on him.
Look, so I said this analogy on my show this afternoon. Jude Bellingham is like the PlayStation 5, yeah? So we've got a PlayStation 4. You've had it for years. It's a great thing. You got the most out of it, but there's another one out there, PlayStation 5. But you can't get it yet because it don't come out till next year. But you desperately want it. You want to be the first in the queue. So what you do, you don't get anything in between hand, and you wait for that PlayStation 5 to come out. And that is basically what Liverpool are doing. And I've said this from time to time again with Jurgen Klopp. And everyone keeps saying, I've said it for about a year now. If anyone watches my channel, they know I've been saying this for a long time. Jurgen Klopp and FSG are one in the same. They always have been. They always will be. I think people are starting to come to a realisation on that. You only have to listen to Klopp's press conference. Everyone goes on about certain players we should get put in our midfield. There's more than Bellingham in the world. Jurgen Klopp don't see it like that. He sees it totally different to what we do. He just sees it. We'll get onto it later. He basically must listen to all the YouTube channels and Twitter and all that because he basically mentioned it all, didn't he?
Yeah, of course.
Bellingham's the player he wants. He doesn't want anyone else. He wants Bellingham. And if he's willing to wait 1 year for Bellingham, he will wait 1 year for Bellingham. It was the same with Virgil van Dijk when we needed a defender in 20. He will wait. He will wait. And he doesn't care about it.
I hear what you're saying. I think, all right, the angry Montel thinks that I have to talk in separate egos. My alter ego, or actually the normal me, says that we do need another reliable body. As Black Hammer says in the comments, we will finish second again, all because we didn't add a reliable body in midfield. I think we are one key midfielder away from falling away from Manchester City. I generally believe that. I think when everyone's fit, I don't have a problem. With the squad we have right now, when everyone's fit, I honestly don't have a problem. I know that sounds mad, but with a full squad and fit players, I don't really see the issue or the faults in the team unless it's just that we're having an off day. You know what I mean? Because usually tactically we get it right, and you're not going to win every single game. I mean, we average about 3 losses a season. Come on, we are ridiculous as a football team. But if you really want to make that next step, and God, please, I cannot take another second place finish. I can't do it. I don't know if I have it in me, especially to lose by 1 point. I don't. We are 2 points off of having 3 Premier Leagues technically. That I don't know if I have that in me. And for that to be maybe because we weren't able to really go out and actually spend an extra 50, 60 mil. Because right now, 50, 60 mil on paper maybe does sound like a lot, but the Darwin Núñez purchase was basically free. Because Nico's going for 20 mil. Taki's gone for like 12 mil, something silly like that. Origi's gone on the free, to be fair. But the rest of them, like Mane's gone for 40 odd mil. Do you know what I mean? The Darwin Núñez transfer was technically free, but us ain't paid us our Coutinho money yet. Like Darwin Núñez is actually free. I'm not gonna lie, he was actually free.
It's great business by the club there, mate. And as you said, it's interesting. If I don't know, I'm probably chatting no more. Obviously, the too many. If we did have that money, and if it is the case, then I think if that money is still burning a hole in Klopp's pocket, but it all comes down to the selling club, most importantly, doesn't it, mate? But if Liverpool did go big, and obviously we've still got a couple of weeks still left to go, and it'd be interesting to see if Liverpool did react in relation to obviously Man City, if they did strengthen in certain other areas as well, use that Sterling money in other areas, and obviously Gundogan, he's got a 12 months left on his contract, so if he was to go, then Man City would be in the ballgame. But I'm 100% agree with him, man.
Yeah.
It's similar with the Diaz. I don't think any of us anticipated the impact in which he had in January, but we were in contention due to the quality of Diaz, what he offered to Liverpool. Yeah. And you could be out of a title race before January. Hopefully that's not the case and we're leading in that, but I understand 100% on that agreement, mate.
Did anyone see the interviews Klopp's done today on ESPN and Sky Sports? If you've watched any interviews today, you know everything about Jurgen Klopp. Jurgen Klopp was asked about the disappointment at the end of the season. He basically said he got over it proper quickly and he's not even thinking about it no more. If that was Pep Guardiola, Pep Guardiola's still thinking about it to this day. It's the difference between the two managers. Jurgen Klopp doesn't think about football like we want him to think about football, like Pep Guardiola thinks about football. We lost the Champions League final and he went to the pub and celebrated with the team. And Jamie Webster singing in the pub straight after the final. Pep Guardiola wouldn't be doing that. Jurgen Klopp doesn't think about football like we do right now. Like we might be talking about it because we're fans. He's not a fan, he's a manager. And he thinks totally different to what we do. Like the midfield scenario, I'll see Black Hammer, big up Black Hammer as always. And he's saying about Barella. And I agree, Barella's a tremendous player. And we could probably go for him. Klopp probably don't want him. We signalled out Tuchemeni. I do think Liverpool wanted to get Tuchemeni this summer and Bellingham next summer. And Tuchemeni wanted Real Madrid at the end of the day. When a player wants another club, there is no point. There's no point fighting it because you're just getting a player who don't really want to be there. You know what I mean? And that's not what we're about. So he went to Real Madrid. Look, the Bellingham thing, he got straight up asked about it, didn't he? He obviously wants Jude Bellingham. Jude Bellingham's his midfielder. I look at it thinking that he looks at Barella and he looks at Bellingham. And I think Jurgen Klopp thinks Bellingham's a better footballer than Barella and he's younger. So why would I go for
he's not
two?
A better footballer than Barella, I'm sorry.
What?
That's not true.
But I think this is how Klopp sees it. And then he thinks, why am I going to go for two players like that in my team when it's not needed? And then he bigged up the young boys. He bigged up the young boys today in the press conference. And basically saying, like, we got Curtis, we got Harvey, and we got Carvalho.
And Jay Spearing as well.
Jay Spearing.
Oh, yeah, Jay Spearing, yeah.
And we got them players. And he's basically saying, you tell me who I'm going to get. Basically, it's as good as them players.
Do you know what it is as well?
That's what he's saying.
The fact that we were so heavily linked with... The fact that we were so heavily linked with Tchouaméni, for me, shows that we showed heavy, pure interest in getting a centre mid before we went and got a striker. Now, if that's the case, shouldn't we be looking at alternative options? There should be some sort of body willing to come in. If it's like if the team's looking, we were looking to drop 100 M's. We were looking to drop 100 M's. But as soon as that target goes, you go, that's fine. We'll give it another year. It's fine. That doesn't make sense. Surely there must be second choice, third choice. It must be a priority for Liverpool if we're willing to drop 100 M's. That's why it doesn't make sense to me that we're kind of alluding to the fact that, it's this whole reassurance thing. It's this reassurance. It's this whole, this is Love Island. Why are you constantly needing reassurance? I don't understand it personally.
I've said this a while now. If FSG if Klopp wants a player, FSG will pay for that player. I've said it for time again. Everyone keeps telling me, no, they won't. Yeah. No,
not any. Yeah, this time now, I think
they will get their player. I mean, look, we broke a world record for a defender and a goalkeeper. Yes, we used the Coutinho money to do it, but we still broke the world record on them two players because they're the two players that they only wanted. They didn't want anyone else. We will spend money if money's needed. We have money.
Yeah.
But if your manager, if it goes to you, right, what do we need in the transfer market? Right, I desperately need a right back cover. It took us 3 years to find the right back cover because the ability Trent's got, I've always said this on the right-hand side of our team. Trent Alexander-Arnold is so good in his position to find cover for Trent Alexander-Arnold, who's also happy to sit on the bench and maybe get rotated in a few games, but come on and still have enough quality. It's very difficult to find, and they think they found it with Ramsey. We're not yet sure yet because we haven't really seen him. But the club think they found him for a good price. With the Salah situation, this bit buggers me the most. So Salah's arguably top 5 best players in world football, right? The world's best players don't get rotated. They never do. They never do. Ronaldo don't get rotated. Messi don't get rotated. They never get in rotation. People have got a thing in their thing about having Salah rotated. I don't get it. The best players play.
No, 100%.
So what you need is cover for Salah when you just want to bring people off the bench or maybe give him 1 day's rest. Them sort of things might happen in the season. But then that player has got to be good enough to come in so the quality don't completely drop to the floor.
Yeah.
And at the same time, he's happy to know his position. So when people say, "Oh, an Anthony or a Rafinha and all that," yeah, they're great. They're great players. One low. None of them are better than Mo, so they got to be on the bench anyway. 2, are they going to be happy sitting on the bench? So what the club are looking at, they're looking at a player with a mentality that goes, right, I know Mo's number 1. I want to come to the club and sit, I want to come to the club because it's Liverpool, but I know Mo's number 1. I know he's one of the best players in the world, and I'm not quite there yet. But what I'm going to do, when I get my opportunity, I'm going to show the manager why you might be able to push me in advance of that position. I'm going to do it in training every day. The club look for mentality. I think there's 4 factors the club looks at in players, and one of them's personality, one of them's mentality. Obviously, the other one is technique and playing skill. And all that. They look at all these things when they're covering players. That's why it's so hard to find a right-sided forward that would come to Liverpool knowing these positions. And that's why they're still looking. Yes. So it's very difficult to fill the squad up. It is very difficult.
It's the DMs, boys, as well. If Fabinho gets injured, who replace him with? Like,
I know that ain't who I think it is.
There he is. There he is.
Yes, savage.
I know you're going to dig this. Oh, yeah, perfect.
My tag
My
tag partner.
Man, like Monson, thanks for having me on, big man. Yeah.
Sometimes things just happen. It's crazy how things happen, man. But I'm just glad to have you on. I feel like you'd have a very valid opinion with this as well.
How are you, brother? How is everyone good?
We're okay. Well, I'm okay. It depends. As I said, it depends what Montel I'm gonna give today. Do you know what I'm saying? I really like this comment from Pac-Man. He says, someone saw this on the stream before. Someone said this on the stream before. Klopp's happy with the journey up the mountain. Pep needs to be on top of the mountain. That's the difference.
That is true.
Do you guys agree with that? I think there's context to it because Pep,
I think it's 100%.
There's no journey up the mountain for Pep because he came in at the top of Mount Everest. Like he was given his money, he was given his blueprint, he was given the year to say, all right, do your thing for 1 year and then you start winning major trophies. Otherwise, you're out. Because that's what the blueprint of the Man City.
Pep was given unlimited oxygen to get to the top of Mount Everest.
Yeah.
It's a difference.
Stairlifted and everything.
Jurgen had a backpack, bro. He had a backpack and 1 lung.
I say this all the time, though. Klopp has got faults. Yeah, everyone knows Klopp's got faults. Klopp isn't like Pep. I've said it many times before. As I said on this Sky Sports interview he did today, he said they asked you how you felt about after the season's finished. He said he was disappointed for the and now he's over it. Don't even look at it, don't even care. It's on the next season. Pep Guardiola would still care right now. It's the difference between the two personalities. Klopp is not a football man like Pep is or like we are. He just don't think like that. And you are going to get what you got to get with Klopp. As he says, Pep wants to be on top of the mountain. Klopp is just happy if he gets to the top of the mountain. Yeah. But at the same time, I've said this many times, if I ever see any Klopp out stuff, that needs to be banned straight away.
That's a stretch.
Second,
that's a big
stretch. Once it started, it literally, since his press conference, it had started. There has been murmurings. No. And I've said it as well. He's the best thing that's happened to Liverpool since Bill Shankly, in my opinion. Easily. It's just the way it is for us. It's just the way it is for us. But this press conference is mad. I know people are going to go off on it because there's so many things that come out of this story of it.
Bear with me, man. I'm trying to turn this off, bro.
One thing, let me find some of these comments as well. Big up the 40 people that are in here at the moment. Obviously, I'm going to get to some of these comments as well. We are not even 20 minutes in, 40 people. What can I say? It's the Big Six Bands crew striking successful once more. Klopp saying we have plenty of options in CM is the equivalent of me saying there's hella gal at the party, but it doesn't mean not going home with any of them. It's again, it's quality and not quantity and not quality, really. And people who say we know more than Klopp. I don't want to hear shit from them when our midfield is below standard. Once again, we were spending 60 million. We were willing to spend 60 million on Tchouaméni, a bit more than that actually. And Jude next season, just add 10 mil on top of that Tchouaméni money, and we get Barella. Simple as that. We probably made that money back through Salah shirts now that he's even signed a new contract. To be fair, we could have said the same thing, but we tried to challenge and get so many points. We need to get over the line and smash it in the Prem. Big up 1982 Red Podcast, by the way, who also is sending his love. Pac-Man says, one backpack and a lung. Man's broken the world record transfer fee. He's not on benefits. What? No. We've been on net spend, bro. We've worked on net spend up until maybe this window and maybe January. You know what I'm saying? League winning season. We bought in Minamino and Sepp Vandenberg. Champions League winning season, obviously that's when we spend that money. But the season after last season, we went for the quad. We just bought Konate and renewed contracts.
And built a new training facility and added to the club and everything.
So, everything behind the scenes at our club is 100% mint.
Oh, brilliant.
You know, we ain't arguing about that. There's no argument there, definitely.
Yeah. Pac-Man also says you got to keep Klopp, get rid of him, and it's Wenger settings. You're obviously better team than Arsenal under Wenger, but you decline hugely. Oh, 100%. To even think, I can't even breathe the same air as someone who thinks Klopp out. I'm sorry. Acting like Klopp was on a shoestring budget. He spent 700 mil. Again, let's imagine we have because we didn't sell Coutinho, did we? We didn't sell him, did we? Of course not. Do you know what I'm saying? But anywho, Hugo, I want to get your thoughts on it. Klopp seems to be incredible with the midfield options. What do you think about that?
I don't know, man. I'm quite relaxed because I've kind of anticipated that this is how it would be. From my personal opinion, I don't know. I was fine before, but then I wasn't really thinking about the reliability of the players in terms of getting injuries and stuff. Sometimes that gets overshadowed, and then you get brought back down to life because one injury to Thiago or Fabinho and the whole midfield looks completely different. Especially for big man, relax. Sorry. But my dog's growling at no one. But yeah, especially Fabinho's position. I don't know. I mean, it's the same midfield we've had. They've been pretty successful, and I would say that, I don't know, there's loads of different pointers we can say why we didn't win the league and Champions League and that. Yeah. You can choose the midfield, but then at the same time, you can pick different things in the games where we just haven't won due to not finishing or anything like that. I think Klopp had his biggest squad last season. In fact, I don't know if it's going to be bigger going into the season, isn't it? Because we've added more players. We only lost, we lost Mane, Taki, Origi.
And Nico's going out the door.
So we're like one person down maybe because we've added Carvalho and yeah, I don't know. It's a weird one because I don't think he felt comfortable having players in the squad that weren't going to be used last season. He mentioned it too many times after games about feeling bad about not playing Taki or not even having them in the squad. So I think that's a pointer in it. I think he's starting to realise a bit more with the rotation. He mentioned it earlier about he's never rotated so much in his career, but he said that it's something they're looking to do going forward. But obviously, for me, it's quantity over quality, it's quality over quantity. So if we're going to add a midfielder just this season, just for the sake of it, because we didn't get Tchouaméni, because we didn't get Bellingham, because I don't know where the Barella thing came from, to be honest, but because we didn't get Barella, then it's pointless. If that person's going to be on the bench just in case. But I don't know. I kind of trust the young ones, but at the same time, I feel everyone on the fact that with Man City over your shoulder the whole time, it's hard to go in full trust with the young ones because if they mess up, even though it's not their fault, it's Man City's league and it will happen pretty soon. Like one slip up in the Prem and it can be over real quick. Same goes for Man City though, you know what I'm saying? If everyone wants to look at Man City as the barometer, then they have to look at Man City's team as well if they're losing players or not. I think Sterling's a massive loss for them. Everyone will say they've got world-class players in all positions already, but I think there's a difference between the way Sterling plays and Grealish plays. But I don't know because the same thing happened with Man City at some point. Obviously, they've always had players coming in and out. But there was a point when Foden was just on the bench for them and they started to just trust him. And he's stayed in the squad ever since, which I think will happen with Elliott for sure. And I think with Carvalho, I'm optimistic about him more than anyone. But obviously, it's not a foregone conclusion yet because we haven't seen him play. So I get the nerves from the fans going into it, but I'm quite relaxed. But that could end by Christmas. You know what I'm saying? Either way. But yeah,
I agree. I think the one thing I would say is that there's a bigger magnifying glass on Liverpool for obvious reasons when it comes to Liverpool and Manchester City.
Yeah.
So when we lose out on Mane, people just don't. That if you look at the backlash of Liverpool's Mane loss compared to the backlash of Sterling's Liverpool loss, everyone's kind of like oh, you know what? Sterling must not have been good enough for City for them to want to sell him. I mean, his numbers have dipped, even though he's there in the top 10 scorers of all time, and he's only 27, and he's been sold to a rival. It's fine though because he's obviously not good enough, and he can go to Chelsea, and we're better off without him. It's not like City have another winger who can run in behind. In fact, they have no one who can run in behind anymore.
They should have gave him to Arsenal, not Chelsea. Chelsea's a bad move, man.
We don't highlight City's problems. Another one, Gabriel Jesus was quite fast, but we don't need him anymore. It's fine. We don't need pace in our team. We're that good. And yes, City are actually that good in their system and in technicalities as footballers. However, like compared to the Mane one where, Mane's even better than Salah. So you lot losing Mane, you lot have really dropped off.
Yeah,
Liverpool could really drop to fourth place. So I don't see Liverpool doing much. Nunes is this and that. I agree with that. But losing Mane, oh my gosh. Oh wow. Yep. Oh, how are you guys going to replace Mane? But his numbers dropped as well.
Yep.
He was on a decline as well.
Those were the same people bigging up Chelsea and Man United last season, mate. Yeah, like saying that they challenged, and then he fell off after a couple of months.
They were the same people who said Mane fell off as well. And now he's God.
The one statement thing I say is that they have Haaland, and obviously Haaland can do everything as a striker, running behind, hold the ball, he do everything, and he can do everything. But I'm talking about from the wide positions from the wide positions. Foden's not going to run in behind. Mahrez isn't going to run in behind anymore. He's losing bone marrow in his kneecaps. He's 32 now. Like who else is there? Bernardo Silva's not going to run in behind. Jack Grealish is defo not running him behind. That guy is a ball to feet merchant. I'm not saying he's a bad player, he's a brilliant footballer, but that ball's going to feet every time. Do you know what I mean? Maybe that's going to work into Pep's new system. Listen, I don't know. And quite frankly, I don't care. But
they need Grealish to be great, I'm not even joking. They need him to be really good this season.
As I said, Lukaku outperformed Grealish last season, but people don't want to talk about that. Anywho, yeah, people don't want to talk about that one. Less minutes played as well, 400 less minutes played. But what I'd like to see, hey Hugo, don't get me started. Don't get me started.
Oh man.
Big up, there's 50 people in the chat. Obviously, drop a like. Make sure we get to 50 likes. I want to race to 50 likes ASAP. We're not even half an hour into the video, and we've got 50 people in there. Big up everyone watching and loving the ramble settings right now. But I just wanted to explain the alter ego of myself now. I just wanted to explain that obviously, even though I badly want a midfielder, I've spoken about Nico Barella numerous times. I want him more than I want Jude Bellingham. Jude Bellingham is not a guaranteed success. I think this is what people need to understand. He is a brilliant footballer. He breeds longevity. He is better than a lot of guys, and there's a maturity about him that you just don't see in a long time. But honestly, he is not guaranteed success. He is not the finished article. And when it's supposed to come in from that German league and to not hit the ground running, it can happen. This is why I lean more to a Barella type footballer. You are chasing Man City. We do not have time to breed players and let them grow over 3-4 years. Because guess what? In 3-4 years, Salah's contract's done. In 3-4 years, Virgil van Dijk is 35. In 3-4 years, Thiago probably won't be able to walk anymore. God forbid. And it's a joke, but you know what I mean? So Thiago probably, I don't know what he'll be doing in 4 years because that guy can't complete 25 games. So, do you know what I mean? Naby Keita will probably be sold. Jordan Henderson will probably be a pundit. Do you know, like...
Jordan Henderson will still be here.
Yeah, he'll probably still be here, to be fair. You know what I'm saying? So, it's one of them ones, innit? So, for me, Nico Barella has to be the guy. He's not even that old himself. He has to be the guy for me. But that's me when it comes to midfield options. And I know I'm rambling right now, but you got to look at the other side of it where you go, all right, last season, everyone, and I was one of them, everyone was kicking up a stink last season, last window. Everyone was kicking up a stink. Why are we just signing contracts? Why are we just renewing contracts? Is this all we're going to do for the window? City just dropped 100 mil. Chelsea just dropped 100 mil. United just got Ronaldo, Sancho, and Varane. Klopp told us Origi is world class and a game changer, and that's it. And what did we do? We went and competed for a quad. The year before that, we went and bought in Sepp Vandenberg. We were crying. I was crying. I was cussing. We went and won the league. Do you know what I mean? So that's the part of me that goes, in Klopp we trust, but no one's perfect, and he is definitely prone to making a mistake, and he has his flaws. So you can't be naive, but at the same time, we have complained in the last 3 years, 2 of those years where we haven't spent enough, we've come out on the other side of the tunnel very successfully. So maybe any of you guys can go on your opinion on that one, but that is the other side of it.
Yeah, it's heavily reliant on injuries as well, mate. It's forgiven whether that be City or Liverpool, Tottenham, Chelsea next season. But as we've already spoke about, the midfield were probably the weakest within the team in terms of depth. Obviously, everyone's done shows on the centre backs, in which Liverpool currently have. The 2 years prior to that, when we had that disastrous season, but somehow Jurgen Klopp got us top 4 and above certain other clubs in the Prem as well. But the midfield, if, as I was saying before, if Fabinho does get injured, obviously Klopp spoke about in the press conference today, Milner and Henderson can play in the 6. I think Henderson's more suited in the 6 because obviously he was a 21-year-old coming back, obviously, when Kenny signed him from Sunderland, then signed, but he's deteriorated his pace, but he's still good, but he's not on the level or on the same playing field as Fabinho defensively. But it'd be interesting to see Carvalho, but yet again, boys, were heavily reliant on youngsters, and if they sink or swim, as you spoke about once at the top of the show, it's if they thrive in an environment. But at the end of the day, if you're playing for Liverpool, you've got to get that opportunity. I don't think a lot of us would have anticipated Harvey Elliott being probably one of our best players in the first 3 games last year before he got injured. So it's Jurgen. We're blessed to have him, but as you said there, mate, anything can happen in a league season. But it's if injuries do heavily deplete us a couple of months in, and it's better to have that extra quality in the midfield, and then we're not left with answering the questions when it does arise, those difficult moments.
Well, you see it Harvey low. Klopp loves Harvey Elliott. You see him big him up today. Klopp loves Harvey Elliott. I've said it already. I keep saying I wouldn't be surprised if Harvey Elliott starts the season. It just wouldn't shock me, because as me and Savage were talking about this afternoon, Jurgen Klopp said Harvey Elliott at the beginning of the season was Liverpool's best player, not just best midfielder, best youngster, best player. He loves Harvey Elliott. He loves Curtis Jones, and he loves Carvalho, and he believes in them. So when he talks about them, he's not worried about how old they are, young they are, or anything like that. He just looks at their talent. And in his eyes, looking at it with Klopp, he's looking at it and thinking, right, I've got Harvey Elliott here, he's a tremendous young talent, and people want me to get midfielders in. So I'm going to have to let Harvey Elliott go, Curtis Jones go, and I'm going to have to let Milner go, but I'll let him sign a year contract to get all these players in. So who's going to leave for me to get these players in? This is basically what he's telling everyone. I like what I got. And if people don't like it, I can't help that. I'm the manager of this football club. I see him every day in training, and I'm going with this team. And look, people laugh at Harvey. I don't get the Harvey Elliott abuse he gets. I don't get it from our own fans. Everyone's got short-term memories. He had a tremendous start to the season, and he got a really bad injury. Came back. When you come back from that kind of injury, it's a mental thing as well as physical, because you know your leg's fine, but going into tackles really hurts because you're remembering what happened to your leg. So it's a really hard thing to get over. Once you get over it, you'll be fine. He'll be a great footballer. Carvalho's going to be a great footballer. Are we? Is this team ready to beat City? Like, maybe not, but Klopp's not looking at just next season. This is the thing. Klopp looking at 5 years' time. He's looking at the end.
Klopp ain't even going to be here in 5 years' time.
That's how he looks. That's how Jurgen looks, and he's our manager, and that's just the way it is.
So that, boys, if we had an oil state backing us, we might be having a couple more titles to our.
I don't know.
total.
I don't think Klopp
Like,
would be any different. I've said, me and Savage said this. I don't think Klopp would be any different if he had City's owners. I just think all that will happen is contracts will be happening quicker. But I don't think they'll be any different. I really don't.
I just don't think Harvey's the same player, and I think I'll need to see him in pre-season to see how he's getting on. At the moment, I don't think he's the same player in terms of his tenacity. As I said, it's hard to get over injuries like that. His ankle was literally facing the other way. Like we've all seen it. That's a horrific injury to have. Not even, and it is mental. As Mark said earlier, it's 12 months behind his development. You reckon he plays that? He doesn't.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
You never know when it comes with his injury how well he can do it.
It could be 12 months behind his development, so everyone says, but he could have been 2 years ahead of everyone else at his same age. So
yeah, of course,
he might not be behind at all. That's the
some of the hate. Let me bring up some of the hating us haterade comments with Assad. Big up yourself. I know with his Liverpool hate, it's going to be strong with this one. Harvey Elliott, and you're trying to dethrone City.
Who does he support?
Any a Chelsea fan?
Is he a Chelsea fan?
Yeah.
So hang on,
Can
I ask Assad a question? So last season, Chelsea were all bigging up how good their team was.
Win the league.
They'll go win the league. Then Man City will go compete with everybody. Thomas Tuchel is the real German manager. And all this sort of bollocks that Chelsea fans were coming out with last season. And then they finished 20 points behind us because they lost.
We ruined their season by not scoring.
Because they lost Ben Chigwell. You know what I mean? It's just don't give me that bullshit. Don't give me that bullshit.
Mendy channeled us in a Adrian in the Champions League.
Yeah, and then the season before that, when we had 0 players in our team, we still finished above you. So when's Chelsea going to come to the party and try and help Liverpool try and dethrone Man City? Because it can't be just us on our own.
Help themselves, Jay, innit? They need to be challenging for the league.
Well, here's the opinion of a City fan. Pac-Man, big himself up, very always prominent in the chat. He says Harvey Elliott looks like a talent, but the guy's played 8 Premier League games, and if that's your answer to beating us on midfield, you've got a serious problem. First of all, we will never beat Manchester City on midfield. That's something.
No.
That is midfield depth.
Yeah. That is not a thing. No one is saying
defense and attack. We destroy City. Defense and attack.
Yeah,
but midfield. Yeah, it's different.
You know what I'm saying?
They're not gonna just boy up my boy Elliott for no reason. What's the foolishness about?
I don't. People hate Elliott. I don't get it.
I just think with Harvey, for me, I think with Harvey, I need to see that preseason before I start giving up Harvey prop again, because I was the leading brigade when Harvey started the season. I was leading the brigade, the Harvey Elliott brigade. I was saying this kid's special. This kid's special. Who needs Saka? This kid's special. I was saying the maddest shit. I promise you, I was saying the maddest shit. Like it's sickening to look back at what I was saying back then, innit? I was saying the maddest, but then again, I was saying Jurgen Klopp. I was doing Jurgen Klopp stocks. It's gonna start again next season, but it doesn't matter. But listen. But now I have eyes, and I've just looked at him, and for me, he just hasn't been the same player. So I think right now, I want to allow Harvey to develop at his own pace rather than to be dashed straight back in the deep end. You know, straight back in the deep end of you're going to start right centre mid and we're going to go again like we did last season. You know what I mean? That's just, I don't feel like that's not there for me. I think maybe if he gets rotated, then of course if he gets rotated, then we can speak about it. But right now, I'm more excited to see Fabio Carvalho. I'm more excited to see him. And I think Klopp right now is understanding that we are becoming predictable to certain teams with the low block. And that's why he is looking to... Klopp said it in the interview. He's looking for 10s now. He's looking at players who can play 10. He even said Bobby is back. Bobby is world class. Now, obviously,
number 9.
Say what you want to say about Bobby Firmino. But if we are going to be playing the 10, Bobby Firmino for me has to play. And then whoever's going to come in the 10 also with Carvalho, maybe Harvey can maybe play the 10, or any other one that you want to maybe shoehorn in the 10. They have to learn off Bobby. You have to learn off of Bobby. Before I just get to you guys, just want to head to some of these comments. Liverpool fan base learning how to be deluded. Leave me alone.
Hang on, can I just ask, what are we deluded? What are we deluded about? This is what I don't get by rival fans.
You better be Man City fans talking. That's all I'm saying.
The only team that can talk to us is Man City. I don't get the deludedness. Yes,
and even they need to watch them off.
We're the second best team in the country. Yeah, we're the second best team in the country. Granted, City are the best team. They are. The 3 best teams in Europe right now are probably Real Madrid, Liverpool, and City. Yeah. Quite easily, right? I don't get this deluded stuff, Liverpool deluded and all that. I get Arsenal fans coming at me. Gabriel Jesus scored 2 goals against a German team that's famous for the war, that's more famous for the World War, that they beat in a friendly 5-2. And then they're telling me Gabriel Jesus is going to bag 25 goals next season. Well, there's not. And then these same people are telling me Salah's on a decline. It's just mental. Arsenal, if you finish 7th next season, you've had a good season because your team's shit. Why are Arsenal and Chelsea fans coming at us all the time saying we're deluded when we have finished above you consistently and it's
because you ain't
apart.
me. That's what it is, Jamie. You hate me because you ain't me. Don't hate the player.
Look at Goonely's comment. You're right, but you lot don't come with like reasonable opinions. You come talking smack.
But we've spoken about Liverpool for 90% of this video. I went off on a little tangent about how people ignore Man City's deficiencies because they're not a big club. But apart from that, I haven't gone in on Arsenal. I haven't gone in on Chelsea. Jamie's gone in on Chelsea a little bit, but we ain't really gone in on too many, man. If anything, we've been critical of Klopp for a lot of this video. We've been critical of Klopp's ambition. And
I ain't got time to talk about Arsenal anyway, bruv. Just talk about your documentary, big man.
Yeah, can't wait for that.
That's the biggest talking point. I can't wait for that foolishness.
He said, so only Man City can comment on it. No. Man can comment on LFC, but it's just a bit cheeky, innit? It's just a bit cheeky.
It's when you criticise a team that's been to 3 European Cup finals in the 5 years.
Can I just ask a question here? What? Honestly, you other fans in the chat, you know, with your bum ass clubs and that. What do you expect? No. What? Honestly, when everyone's looking forward to their season, what do they expect Liverpool fans to look forward to? Do they want us to just go, yeah, we're looking backwards? Because we won 2 of the cups last season, so and we finished second. All we got to look forward to is look forward on it. We missed out the Champions League we got to the final, and we finished second. So when you're talking about the season coming up, obviously we're going to be saying, well, we should be able to get over the line because it was marginal. These men just want us to just sink down to your level, bro. Just listen. Use like with your Thursday night games and all that business. Just relax, man. You know what I'm saying? Your ITV4 games and that. Relax, man.
So Assad's talking about the stuff we've won, 1 title in 32 years. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. You have been very successful since Roman come. Your sugar daddy gave you lots of money and you're very successful, granted. Yeah, you're nothing before that.
Where have you been for the last 100 years in your history?
But when we talk about history, Liverpool get called the history team. That's all you talk about. When everyone else does it, they're like, oh, yeah, we did this, he did. Where have you been? It's like, all right, if you want to live in today, if you want to live in the right now, in today, you're shit.
Wait, hold on. Why, Pac-Man? Who's comparing Harvey Elliott to Phil Foden? No one.
No one. Rewind this video. No one.
Phil Foden.
These are the agendas people want to push on reasonable Liverpool fans to give you a chance in an argument.
Phil Foden's up there. It's quality.
The only comment about Phil Foden and Harvey Elliott that got made is when I said, and it was a compliment to Pep Donut, I said, at some point, Pep decided to play Foden and gave him a chance, and he's still in the squad. And then I said, Klopp will have to do that with the youngsters at some point. Big man, just listen, innit? These men have just got agendas in their head, you know. Just calm down.
Selective eating, innit?
I'm coming for the IP address, man. Stop.
Big up once in the panel, man. Said Klopp out, and it's Spurs fan. Of course, you guys. How about it? I know the rival fans are Klopp out, 100%. You lot can't wait for the day this man leaves. As I said, when you're averaging 3 losses a season, anyway. The fact is, Liverpool put themselves on a pedestal and trying to get the major issues. What we've been discussing no. Goonely, just press. You see the rewind button? Click it. Just keep clicking it, and don't just use the scroller. I want you to click the 10-second just so your finger hurts. I want you to click the 10-second bit. Just keep doing that as a punishment.
He's still stewing over the Henry Suarez video, man. That's what it is.
Yeah, he's burning. You know what I'm saying? Once in a lifetime purchases of Mane and Salah, overselling Coutinho to get Van Dijk, Alisson. It brought you close to City, but you're way further off than you think. I wonder how far City are for that Champions League. Maybe that's a conversation.
Why are we far further off than we think?
Anyway, I don't know.
I don't get it. There's no substance to anything. People are just typing without zero substance.
Yeah,
give me substance.
Pat-Man, I know you're not talking about on this stream, but that's maybe the dumb section of Liverpool fans that no one cares about. That are saying, do you know what I'm saying, Pat-Man? You know what we're alluding to. By the way, there's 80 odd people in here. Why is there 39 likes?
Come on, get the likes.
I can't. Yeah, this is you're seeing man stress. You're seeing me sweat. I support Liverpool. We support Liverpool. When do you see me sweat?
Oh,
I go into every game thinking I'm going to win.
There's too many people. There must be too many people in here that's been to Qatar and have got no hands left.
Obviously,
Hit the like button.
Hey, Daz Reynolds says, big up Mont and the panel. How do you think we will play tomorrow? I'm excited, man. I just want to see my play. I'm at the point where I just want to see my team play football. I'll take a Liverpool 5-a-side. I can't lie. I'll take a Liverpool set-shot goals. You know what I'm saying? I can't lie. Bro. I just want to see the man and play at goals in. I ain't seen the team playing so long. I'm itching. I'm gonna be real. Just to put a more positive spin on it, I am itching to see Liverpool Football Club play. Big up UK Julie Official. He says City can never be a big club until they win the UCL still. Oh, I mean, I didn't say it. I mean, we won the trophy that we needed to win to be a big club a couple years back. But anyway,
it can be successful for the next 30, 40 years. There still will never be bigger at Liverpool, Man United.
That's what it is, man. Other fan bases were laughing when we was like 30 years away on it. They loved that. They used to beat us with that stick every conversation.
It's
and now they're just like clutching at
18
straws.
years for Arsenal since that Premier League. Don't worry, it's touching 20 years for Arsenal. You get it, and they ain't 2 years away from that Prem. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Assad said, I did not see this many Liverpool fans wear their shirts so much pride before Klopp.
Oh, you don't know me, mate.
No, because hold on. What did you expect us to be like Arsenal fans when we're in the mud and you want us to be just to talk shit? And not like this is the difference. Like we knew where we were, but so listen, this is why I say we can't win, because when we knew where we were and we weren't piping up our chest, like people will say to us, oh, well, you guys, we never saw these Liverpool fans before Jurgen come in. But then you look at Arsenal fans, what did you want us to be like them, man? Screaming.
It's a wild statement considering one of the most supported clubs in the planet. But
like, what do you want? Yeah, I'm baffed. Big up 3 arrows of the super chat. He says top 4: City, Spurs, Liverpool, Arsenal.
I don't get this Spurs thing. Can someone please explain this Spurs thing?
I
don't get it. I don't get it.
I'm actually interested to see what Spurs do. You know, because I think Richarlison's going to play way more football than everyone thinks.
I think he's going to play.
I don't particularly like him, but he is a Conte type player, man.
Yeah.
You know when Conte had Costa at Chelsea, shithousery. He's going to love it. I think that I don't know what Kane's going to do, but he might drop deeper, bro, because he seems to be doing that anyway. He's never in the box anymore.
He might play Kane as a 10 and Richarlison in front of him.
Yeah, because first Kane kind of took the how Firmino was playing for Liverpool. That's what Kane started to do, and he started to get way more assists. But he only had Son to pass the ball to. I think it could be a problem, to be fair. I don't like him, but I think it could be a problem. I don't think Spurs are going to do this like crazy thing, though.
I look at Tottenham's players they brought in, and I look at, say, Chelsea. And apart from Basuma, I don't think any of the players they brought in get in Chelsea's team, apart from Basuma. So I don't get this hype.
That's the best player they've brought.
UK Drilly official says all that moolah and no champs, you know. All that bread, you know, no champs. Come like PSG part 2. But listen, City, I don't know. If I could see a juiced up PSG, they'll come from my head. They'll come from my head top. I'll come from my head top. I want to talk about, guys, unless there's anything else you guys want to say on that matter, on what we just talked about, before we move on to the next point. Let's talk about from a tactical standpoint. Is the 4-3-3 becoming outdated?
Outdated for us, or just outdated as a formation?
For us. People are saying that our win rate is still ridiculous.
I mean, we had 91 points and did a cup double last season. Is that outdated?
Yeah, like this is the question.
I don't think it's outdated. I just think elite teams, and I think it's only elite teams, have worked out how to stop us. I've said this before. Everyone knows how to play again. Everyone knows how Liverpool play. It's like you all know how Man City play. You all know how Barcelona played in the past. But stopping them is a different thing. And I think the elite sides, more of the elite sides, have figured out a way to stop Liverpool and don't mind playing that way to stop them. Look, Real Madrid, I don't care what anyone said. Madrid parked the bus in the Champions League final, yeah? But it takes bottle to do that, an elite mentality to do that from Ancelotti to win the game. And that's what it has to take. And So I think Liverpool and Klopp know that now, and I think they're going to try and change it up. And that's why they brought Darwin Núñez in. They wanted a proper number 9 up top, so they can maybe play this number 10 and change it up a little bit. Personally, I think that's why he's done it. And we can maybe play 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3. I think you might see a mixture of that in all the games we play, like during the match as well. Especially with 5 subs. 5 subs is a big thing.
Big thing. It really is. Daz Reynolds says, Monts, do you think a strong first half tomorrow or mixed? A strong team first half tomorrow? I think Klopp goes strong for the first half and he just lightens it up.
He's got to use all the players, he said, didn't he?
Yeah, the youth are going to get. I think Carvalho's going to get I think he'll get a lot of. I think Carvalho will get more than a half.
And Núñez has got bad blisters, ain't he? He had to come off.
Halo Banger and Assad seem to be doing this. I don't know where the City Chelsea link up's coming from. Like, you lot didn't buck each other in the final with the champs. I'm baffed. Like, where's this link up coming from? Like, do you know what? When we get this much hate, we have to be doing something right, lads. We have to be doing something right. You know what I'm saying? Like, the whole world came together to stop us last season. The whole world. And all we bought was Konate. We bought in Diaz, of course, in January, but give me £100 winger. Sorry, £100 million. Give me 100 million of the Queen's finest dollars. Do you know what I mean? I wish I can buy £100 million winger and he get 4 GA and no one say anything about it.
Oh, can you imagine if that was Liverpool?
What a life we'd have.
Oh, no.
What a time to be alive. Honestly, what a time to be alive. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. What? You say we cling on to the history, Assad, but we're the most successful team in the Premier League.
Well, in English football history, yeah.
Keep it coming.
Well, it's like when everyone compares. It's like when everyone compares their right back to Trent, ain't it? The reason they do it is
benchmark more.
Trent's a benchmark.
I respect City, but as I said, when we talk about Klopp's deficiencies for 45 minutes, and then when people dash out mad comments and we come back at the comments, people want to come back at us and say, "Oh, we're deluded." No, we're just hitting back at the comments you want to throw at us when we've been criticizing our own manager and what we need to do better about our team. So keep it coming, because you United fuckers, you man that support United were twerking for your rivals. You have to watch your 2 biggest rivals go at it every year. Chelsea, you're stuck in limbo. You don't know what you're doing. Are you top 4 or are you challenging? You're just a grey area team and you've lost 3 FA Cup finals. You don't know how to win at Wembley anymore. Let me know. But you want to talk about history. You don't have any history. I could have bought your club if I was alive in 1990, whatever. I could have bought your club. So again, I'm not going to go any further. I'm not going to go any further than that. Because if I do, you lot won't like me. Some of you lot don't like me already. But it is what it is. You lot sat watching it. You're sat watching me right now. You get it? But listen, you lot can go there before I go off in it.
Yeah, I don't think...
I didn't want to bring out that month. Sorry, I didn't want to bring out that month.
I don't think the 4-3-3 is outdated. But I do think that we used particular tactics last season in the 4-3-3. And when games get frustrating, that tactic, I do not want to see it because it makes everyone want to smash the head off a keyboard. You know what it is? It's Trent and Hendo. There's that, you know.
The Brexit brothers of destruction.
Yeah. The back post Brexit cross from Hendo, and then the don't look up from Trent and just kick the ball. And it only happens when there's a lot. Listen, because obviously I'm thinking in my head, and when I'm watching that, I'm thinking if I know it's coming, and my son knows it's coming, I'm like, these managers must have watched this and said, listen, frustrate them for about 70 minutes, and trust me, Trent and Hendo will just start pinging it. That's what happens, bro. So I think that we need more focus on the not focus in terms of shift it all to the left hand side, but I think we need an equal balance of attack down the left and the right, because it's so obvious that Trent's the attacking front. When we was doing 17, 18, 18, 19, I think it was not 17, 18, I don't actually. It was Robbo and Trent just back to back, just going. Last season seemed to be a lot of down Trent's side. Not saying that the left side didn't get anything, especially when Shimikas plays as well, because he's got a real good cross on him. But now that we've got Diaz and his trickery on that left-hand side, Salah wasn't getting in behind as much as he used to. And he stopped doing the overlaps and stuff. And to be fair, I'll say Hendo, Trent and Salah, because Salah does the cutting on the left foot. And that gets predictable as well. He needs to trust himself a bit more, man. He's world-class. We've seen what he done at the beginning of the season. And if he can do that in small spaces in the box, I don't understand why you can't take him on outside the box and get down the byline. It's always, let me cut in and take it on my left. And I know he trusts his left foot because I'm sure in training is banging them top corner all the time. But sometimes don't do it, because the times when he didn't and he fainted the one way and then it's always a special assist. Salah don't do easy assists, bare outside of the foot balls and stuff like that. And now they've got someone to aim for in the box. So that needless cross over the top, use it a bit more sparingly. And if you see Nunes in there, the height's in there, and it doesn't have to be him getting the goal, but it can be a knockdown. It could be anything, you know what I mean? It can force a save from the keeper and then somebody can mop up. I'm really interested to see how we use Bobby. Like Jamie said, Klopp did mention about the formation. He's going to stay with 4-3-3, but I do think there's times in games where if it's not working, last season we just went to 4-2-4 and we threw all the strikers on at the same time. But there was no tactic behind it. It was just everyone just get up there and see what we can do. And when you do that, Jota loses his mind. He doesn't know what to do when you do that. So I hope that we can think of a way around it and use Bobby a bit more, man. Because I said to Jamie, man, if people are worried about Bobby's legs and stuff like that, his weight of pass has gone a little bit. I would never mind, and it's only a trial, innit? I don't know if it's going to work, but if you give Bobby less to do and you just tell him he just needs to be in the box, he's got such a slight of touch that I reckon he can become a poacher, man, and use him in sparing games and that. We'll have to see.
A little bit this season. Sorry, why am I hearing... I ain't even disrespected City too tough, you know. I said a 1-2 thing about them. Why am I hearing City saying we bottled it against Madrid when you bottled it against Madrid as well? We all felt the blade of Benzema. We all felt it. we all held it.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
We all held it. I hear it. We all held it. Like,
Football's gone crazy, man.
Do you want me to say that? We said we're the second best team in the league. Why haven't... All right, listen.
We're not saying we're the best. We're the second best team. City are better than us at this moment in time. I don't get this. And there was a comment before that one month saying that Liverpool are about to fall off a cliff. You just don't realise it. Can someone please tell me where all this is coming from? Where they've been saying it for 3 seasons. All fans are now saying that Liverpool are going full next season. You just don't see it. Can someone explain where the evidence is for this? Where is the actual evidence? I don't get it. I don't get it. It's just they want us to fall. But the thing is, when we did fall, when we had no players and the system got completely destroyed and we still finished third, Man City walked to the Premier League on 80-something points because they knew Liverpool weren't there to face them. So they could easily win that title without making an effort.
The City guys are jumping on that comment where he said about the Benzema thing. They're all in the comments saying, "Hey, we all felt the blade of Benzema."
Yeah,
Pep should have left De Bruyne on the pitch. He's a fraud. He couldn't impact the game then, could he? So.
But 1 billion spent and still have the same UCL as the Wycombe Wanderers.
There you go.
Oh, anyway, listen, don't shoot the messenger, yo. Don't shoot the messenger, guys. Don't shoot the messenger. Sorry, Hugo. Carry on with you. I know you were talking about obviously the delivery and stuff.
Yeah, I was just saying that like I don't think the 4-3-3 is dead. I don't think it's just got to use the tactic a lot different, and I think he will as well because before last season we wasn't playing. Hendo and Trent wasn't doing that. Obviously the season before was when we had all the injuries, and then the season before that we had won the league in it. So I think if you look at Liverpool's Klopp's tenure so far, especially once we got over the line and started winning stuff, they've actually changed something in the tactics every season. Sometimes it's small details. I remember Pep Linders before saying about the throw-ins and that just taking quicker throw-ins were making a massive difference. And that's when we had won the league. So going to be interesting to see, man. But I'm really looking forward to it, to be honest. And like you, I'm looking forward to see what Carvalho can do. To me, it's not putting pressure on the youngsters anyway because I think they'll be rotated. I also think that I know they're young and that, but listen, you play for Liverpool and so you're gonna have to just kind of deal with the pressure a little bit still. Obviously, as long as people not talking shit to them and that, but you know what I mean. I swear that a lot of them are the same age as Mbappe and that, bro. It's what it is, bro. If you're good, you're good on it, and they'll love the plaudits when they get it for being young. So they're gonna have to take the criticism as well, as long as it's not rude and stuff like that. Then take on I think they can as well. I think they've all got a bit of certain attitude to them. If you look at the 3 youngsters we're talking about there. Curtis got that little scouse. He doesn't scouse attitude about him. He doesn't seem to care. He's cool. He's relaxed, man. I don't think he's that fussed. He's not a wet wipe. And you know what Elliot's like already, bro. So yeah, man. I like it.
Just a question. Obviously, we answer the questions. Again, Big Six Pants. Do you think you have a better defense and attack?
Yes.
You're talking about Manchester City.
Liverpool do, yeah.
I believe we have a better defense than Manchester City. I think the attack's a lot closer now with the departure of Mane and your addition of Haaland. I'm not gonna. That's my opinion. I can't speak for the other three.
There ain't much in it. It's just the midfield.
Yeah, I think you lot are vastly superior in the midfield.
We have the better goalkeeper, better defenders, and the forward line you could say is about even because of Salah and.
I will say to be fair to Man City though, their defense is closer now.
It's the closest
in the league because the problem before is Cancelo just plays where he wants, and it one day's somewhere, and then
when Walker plays, only when Walker plays. Let's get that straight. When Walker ain't playing.
Say if they play Walker, Cancelo at left back, and then Laporte and Diaz, or I actually would prefer Jones.
Stones and Diaz was literally
Stones and Diaz.
That was looking hella impenetrable.
Man, you conceded exactly.
It's actually pretty funny, isn't it? Because before when we won the league, they said that they didn't win the league because Laporte weren't playing, and then now all of a sudden is a liability and is.
Yeah,
but
that's my opinion in it. I think the difference is for me is the system. I think our system is still elite, but I think Man City's system is just a little bit more consistent than ours. Especially superior in breaking down low blocks, and I think that's what it comes down to with our deficiencies. So that's why I give City the pip when it comes to everything. Take it all in. And that's what it is really.
They actually wear the smaller teams down on it. So when whether a smaller team went low block against Man City or not, they're happy to pass the ball for 10 minutes without you touching it. Whereas with Liverpool, because we play the high line, as much as we play it perfect most of the time, it looks like and it gives the other team, I think, the confidence to say, you know what, we might be able to catch them on the counter attack here. When most of the time it doesn't work. But with Man City, they just give up, bro. You watch them fade away. Like, you know what it is, man. You go make a cup of tea and it's 0-0. When you come back in, it's 1-0 to City. You go toilet, come back, it's 5-0. Done. Game's over. And that's what they do, man. They're big up. You know what I mean? They're good at it.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just going to say, said City's defense don't convince me as individuals. They don't convince me either as individuals, but what it is...
Not individuals, now.
When you keep the ball, City's defense is possession. They don't actually do much defending. It's possession. And that in itself is a ridiculous feat to have as defense. That's commendable. That's not an insult, by the way. That's commendable. Do you know what I mean? So as I said, for me, defensively, I don't think City's defenders are that great defensively. Maybe by Walker and obviously Diaz and Laporte on his day. But because you keep the ball so much, they don't have to do too much defending.
It's also systems. So Liverpool conceded exactly the same amount as Manchester City last season, I do believe, right?
No, we conceded 2 less than them.
Or is it 2? Yeah. All right. And we play in a completely different way. So no other team in the Premier League plays the high line like we do, yeah? With your centre-backs on the halfway line and your full-backs acted as wingers, right? No one really does that the way we do. Look at the space we always leave in behind.
Oh, no, it was 10, it was 26 and 26.
Yeah. So if every other team defended like we did, would their defence be as good as ours?
No.
Individually? No. So if we played more compact defending, you know, and went back 10 yards, we'd hardly ever concede a goal because of the quality of them players. So you got to look at it like that as well. And for the goals scored, Man City scored us more than us last season because in the last 3 games of the season, De Bruyne just went on an absolute madness.
Open the floodgates, don't he?
He was just KDB.
Yeah, he just went on an absolute madness and scored 12 goals in like 3 games. He went on a
You have to rattle Man City's defense to get at them. Once you rattle them, then take advantage for the next 10 minutes. That's all you've got. Trust me. That's why it's always Southampton and that they lose to because they try to bully them.
Halo Bangout says, I think we're all making friends in the comments now. It's not as hectic as it was about 20 years ago. Basis man, big up to you guys for answering it. But why have you guys not won the league if you have 2/3 better in better areas this season?
Easy answer.
In mind. We literally just said
your midfield controls games.
It's the because we could have 2/3 better than you in our opinion, but at the end of the day, your system is superior in grinding down teams. So you are that bit more consistent than us. Even though Liverpool and City's consistency is this, it's off screen. But when you lower the screen down, City's is here, Liverpool's is here.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
It shows in the points, and there is
some of the games we draw, you guys will grind.
They are the better ones, but there is a margin. I would say that Alisson is the reason why we were able to do anything, to be honest. That high line can't get played without. It's madness how good he is.
He's the best keeper.
Our football's more effective in Europe as well because there's a lot more bigger teams that come out
100%.
and play football.
Yeah.
Like that suits us the most. So,
no, 100%. All right. So now I kind of want to talk about obviously now who is to blame, because obviously Jamie, I know you said it's not so much FSG anymore. You're tired of hearing the FSG slander.
It's both. I've been saying this, sir. I've actually said this about, Jack might remember, I said this about a year ago. Like, when you're talking about FSG, you've got to talk about Jurgen Klopp at the same time.
Yeah.
They are one and the same. They think the same. I mean, Savage talk about this all the time as well on my channel. Like, if you talk about Jurgen Klopp about something ain't football, about politics, his lifestyle, anything like that, he's very left-wing, he's very liberal in his approach. And he has that same liberal approach in football as well. He just has that same approach. He believes in the talent that he has. So he looks at someone like a Harvey Elliott and a Curtis Jones and a Carvalho. He looks at them in these midfield options and he thinks, I can get training with these boys every day. Because remember, we don't see it. We only see them once a week when they play the game live. You know, we don't see what he sees every day in training. And what he sees every day in training, they obviously look top-notch to him. And in his opinion, he thinks he can train and coach these young lads as well to be as good as anything you can go out and buy. So why waste the money buying that when he, in his opinion, he's already got it? Now, Klopp will look for certain individuals like a Van Dijk. Look at that season. We badly needed a defender. We had Skirtle and Lovren. we needed a centre-back. And he only wanted Virgil. And I remember people back then on Twitter and YouTube and all that going, there's loads of centre-backs out there. Just go and get one. No, better than what he got now. And that's true, there was. But he only wanted one. It was Virgil. And now once we got Virgil, you know, we got Matip as well. And, you know, then he went and got Konate. And, I mean, look at Konate's bit of business, yeah? Everyone's going on about De Ligt at the moment. De Ligt this, De Ligt that. There's 12 months difference. I think Konate's a year older than De Ligt. Is Konate and De Ligt that really far apart in quality?
Yeah, I think De Ligt's superior to Konate.
I don't think he is. I don't think he's that much better than him. It's just that people got this thing that they saw of him at Ajax and he looked really good in Champions League. If he was that good, he would have got straight in that Juventus side. I'm sorry. We just think players are so superior because they played in a certain system and a certain style. But in reality, there ain't much difference between Konate and De Ligt. And in years to come, we might show that as well. And we got him for 36 million, which is a great bit of business. This is the way we do it. This is the way Jurgen Klopp does it. And it's the way Jurgen Klopp likes it. People might not like it. I mean, yes, we need midfielders. But in Jurgen Klopp's opinion, he sees what we got on the pitch and he thinks that he can get still something out of that. He thinks there's a year left out of it. Unless something special comes along. And if something special don't come along, he ain't going to buy a stopgap. Do you remember last season, guys, when everyone told us to go buy Sal Niguez when he was free? Atletico Madrid, go and get him. He's a quality player. We're fools if we don't get him. And then he went to Chelsea. And all the...
tell you how bad he was.
And then he went to Chelsea in the breakdown and everyone was like, oh, God, why did we let him go to Chelsea and make Chelsea better? Then we see him play and he's utter trash. You know, maybe sometimes the club know what they're doing more than we do. Yes, I can list off 10 midfielders that are probably better than what we got. But if Jurgen Klopp doesn't think they fit his style and system, he's not going to buy them. Simple as that.
Yeah, but that's too slow for me. It's Pablo, big up Pablo. He summed it up right. By the way, Pablo, can you throw in Jamie's link, Hugo's link, and Jack's link in the chat, please? By the way, he said that's the problem though, Jamie. Next year we buy Jude. We wait till another year to buy another problem. Maybe Thiago needs replacing. God knows how our FSG and Klopp do this shit. It's like the fact that we're waiting a year to do something. There'll be another problem next year to solve.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
You know what I mean? As I said, we have a kind of a good squad, but a lot of the world-class players, apart from Fabinho, who's 27, 28, you look at Thiago, 31. You look at Van Dijk, 30. Salah, 30. Firmino, 30. Do you know what I'm saying? These men are hitting the time. These men are hitting that age where next 2-3 years, something's got to happen.
I don't know.
Something's got to happen in terms
I think Bobby's the only one who looks 30. When I look at Virgil, I think
Virgil will play to his 36. That's
and I look at Mo as well, and I think Mo's going to be fine. when I look at Bobby looks like the real 30-year-old out the lot, if you know what I mean. It comes across that. So that's a bit of a problem. But I do agree with you. I agree with everyone. Look, we need midfielders. I'm not on this band of saying we don't. We need midfielders. But at the end of the day, Jurgen Klopp's our manager. And if he thinks what he's got works, there's not a lot we can do about it, is there? At the end of the day.
I don't know. You lads feel like obviously 10 years ago there was probably a lot more better quality on the market. Would you say? Like as in now, like there's a lot less quality on the market and more value. Yes, you can probably identify 3-4 players, but give it about 10 years ago there was a lot more better quality around world football.
I agree.
I don't know, man. I'm just not a fan of waiting for something to happen because, as I said, you have to look what your ops are doing sometimes and think, yo, like what really should be happening is if we are the new Barcelona and Real Madrid, the current Barca and Real Madrid of today, as opposed to the last decade just gone by, then if City go and buy Haaland, we go and get Mbappe. Do you know what I mean? That's the way it is. You get one, we get one. We hit back at you. I'm not saying it always has to be that with every player you get. Do you know what I mean? But it's like, I don't know, City go get Jack Grealish. Who do we go get? The next player who's just like Jack Grealish. Do you know what I'm saying? It's whoever that may be. You know what I'm saying? And we don't have to rival every spending, every buy. But it's like, sometimes you do have to keep one eye on the other side of the, how the grass.
It will be Newcastle in the next 5-10 years. They will be in contention.
With what you're saying there as well, Mons, Barcelona did do that. Now look how shit Barcelona are because they did that. They wrote checks they couldn't afford. They wrote checks they couldn't afford to keep up with Real Madrid.
But we were willing to pay the money for Tchouaméni. So why were we willing to pay the money for? It's not like we were willing to pay this money.
Yeah, but Tchouaméni would have come to Liverpool if he didn't want Real Madrid so bad. I mean, we pulled out because he wanted Real Madrid. I don't want a footballer who don't really want to play for us. Don't know about you guys. When he wants, if he wanted Real Madrid, he wanted Real Madrid. But yeah, we just got to be careful. That's why we have to compete with City in a different way, a different financial way. Because you look at Barcelona did everything in their power to keep up with Real Madrid. They won more league titles in that time than Real Madrid, but Real Madrid have won more Champions Leagues. And what does everyone look at now? Real Madrid, because they've won so many Champions Leagues. That's what they look at.
I just think in England, I think that's just an England thing. Generally, like whenever I actually talk to fans about the La Liga and Spain, when I actually talk about fans that are actually quite in tune with that league, they say it was a facade how great Madrid were. Of course, Madrid had this unbelievable team, but Barcelona would have done dadders in it. Like they look at Barcelona and go, Real Madrid were never trumping this Barcelona.
Oh, they weren't. But market value and what the world looks at, it's still Real Madrid because of their Champions League
on a world scale.
Yeah, exactly.
On a world scale, 100%. I think, as I said, I always go back to the fact that I was shell shocked when I found out that Cristiano Ronaldo only has 2 La Ligas in 8.5. Like what? Like when I hear that, I'm like, pardon me.
They were too busy winning Champions Leagues, man.
They win Champions Leagues.
No, I'm saying, and it's one of those ones that's so again, and it just shows how hefty that Champions League is, how much weight that holds. You know what I mean? Of course. So now business. Jack, I'll go to you. What business would like? Are you happy with what Klopp said, or do you think no? Liverpool are going to do more business. It's a facade. You're going to see a midfielder come in. Forget what everyone's saying. What's your thoughts on it all?
Yeah, Liverpool will do business if we do get rid of Little Mix. If we get rid of him and potentially someone else in the midfield, I think we will go out and sign us. We spoke about today quite heavily, mate. I think there's something in there. There's still a couple of weeks to go, boys, and an injury could happen. Like, hopefully it doesn't touch wood, but if a big injury did happen to one of our midfielders, especially a senior player, then it'd be crazy because we had this 2 years ago with our defence and it was absolute chaos. So I'm hoping upon hope really that we'll make some movements.
Do you know?
100%. By the way, we are 1 like over 60 likes. I think we should be we're gonna aim for 75. I want 75 likes, people.
Guys.
Let's do our best to make that happen.
Do you know what? I'd rather keep Ox and Navigator. I'm going to say it now. And Savage has said this before. When you see Navigator come off the bench, do you get excited?
Hell no.
You
Not
don't.
one bit, man.
when I see
I really like the guy as well. You know,
yeah. But when I see Ox coming off the bench, I don't get excited either. But I do feel like Ox could score a goal. Where Keita comes on, I don't have that same feeling.
Yeah, because the outside foot into Rosetta.
Ox has got the capabilities if he stays fit to get like 6 or 7 goals next season. He has got that ability still. That is still there. He can still bang.
His inconsistency is mad.
But if he can just keep his consistency up and his injuries away, then I'd rather keep Ox than Keita. I really would, because I think Ox gives us a little bit more than Naby does. Even when he's not, even when Salah was away, Ox stepped up for that little bit. We've got to remember that. Ox stepped up for that little bit and played in Salah's position.
People this, Jamie, that Ox actually done his thing for a little bit.
Yeah, Ox stepped
2 or 3
up.
games when he was on it. Yeah.
And he actually played really nice football as well. He played really nice football. And what has Naby done in the 4 years compared... Ox, for me, even though Ox has been really injured, but what he did in that January time was better than anything Naby did last season.
And when we won the league, Ox popped in with a good few goals when we won the league as well. And the season we won the league.
Yeah. So if I had to choose either of them, I'd say goodbye, Naby.
I think, and the thing is, I think Naby's the better footballer by quite a way, actually. I don't even think it's close. But in terms of output and what we want in terms of a bit of dynamism, obviously Ox isn't the only dynamic player in the market. Let's not act like that.
No.
When Klopp says that, don't listen, guys. Don't listen to him when he says that. But you know that people like Goretzka do exist. You know, Valverde exists. Yeah, these players exist. They are dynamic midfielders in the game. Gundogan exists, even though at his age, I think he's quite dynamic. But anyway, listen.
Quality.
I just feel like I understand the frustration with Ox, with the price tag, with the inconsistencies. But Naby Keita came in for a bigger price tag and is just as inconsistent and is arguably more injury prone. And I think people forget that. People look past that a little bit more because of how good Naby Keita can be on his day, how unplayable he can be when he balls out. But like a certain player that I'm not going to name right now because of the charges, like how many times are we going to see Naby on his day? How many times are we going to see that? Not very often. And then the deficiency with Ox is that we all know Ox needs a run of games to get going.
Yeah,
if he doesn't have a run of games, he's not going to come on and show his quality. Forget about it. It's not going to happen. You play him 1 in 10 games, you're going to get a 4 out of 10 from him, max. You know what I mean? Keita, you're better looking at Keita and going, yeah, I'll play. If I'm going to play Keita 1 in 4 games, you're going to get much more out of Keita than you are of Ox. But if you're willing to give Ox the time and nurture him into the team, then you will get a good Oxlade-Chamberlain. But Liverpool have now at a level where we don't need a good Oxlade-Chamberlain.
No. Yeah, you're totally right.
You think the League Cup and FA Cup's enough games for him? Because that's where I would play.
Because he had that today. Because he had that this season.
I don't think it's enough. No,
he played against Nottingham.
His last game was against Nottingham Forest.
It's like Divock Origi. Like Divock Origi for me, and this is the big statement that no one ever agrees. It's a hot take. I might be wrong when I say this. This is just something that I think. I don't think we needed to buy a 9 as badly as we did. I would rather have spent the 100 million on Tchouaméni or Bellingham and kept Divock Origi as the big 9 to play regularly. That's what I would have reinforced that midfield, and I would have given Divock Origi one season. I would have given him 1 season where he can play. I say, if you're fit, you're playing 38 games in that. Yeah. Mane's not here. You play 38 games this season.
Yeah.
I would have personally. That's me, and I would have given, because when Divock plays, of course, Divock, he's an unknown commodity. But when Divock plays, what you notice is he doesn't play with the first team. He plays with the ballers that don't play. So he plays with Liverpool team that's constantly disjointed. He doesn't play with Liverpool team that's with Salah, Firmino, Mane, Thiago, Fabinho. He doesn't play with these man. He plays with Taki and Ox. He plays with an out of form Ox, an out of form KR. He plays with an out of form. He plays with Cade Gordon and them, man. Do you know what I'm saying? For a man that's been at the club for 7 years. So that's why for me, it might sound mad, innit? I just would have maybe even given Nunes another year. Obviously, maybe Nunes is always going to go, but maybe giving him another year and gone, you're going to be the main number 9 this year because you deserve it.
I agree.
I think people are going to be so shocked with how good Darwin Nunes is. Real Madrid wanted Darwin Nunes. They've already come out and said they wanted Darwin Nunes this summer, but they couldn't do it because of the passport thing. So he wouldn't be able to play for him for over 12 months. but they actually wanted Darwin Núñez. Darwin Núñez is going to shock a lot of people how good he is. With Origi, the reason Origi didn't play is because he doesn't press. That's the reason he doesn't play. That is the reason.
Darwin Núñez press though?
Yeah, he presses like
Yeah,
a machine.
That's probably his main attribute.
That's his main attribute is his pressing. It's immense. His pressing off the ball is amazing. That's why we went for him so badly. So that's what I'm saying. I think Darwin Núñez is going to shock a lot of people next season. Show how good he actually is. He's going to press that ball like Bobby used to in that number 9 position, but he's going to be a better finisher than Bobby.
But that's what Klopp rates. Klopp rates pressing over ability. That's why Sturridge never got going. I was
literally just going to say that. I agree with both of you.
Sturridge is our best finisher.
I would have kept Origi, but at the same time, what Jamie said about the pressing, that's exactly the reason why Sturridge didn't play. The exact reason, because he can always come up with a goal. Always, he's got the class for it. But there were some games when it's just like it will feel like you're playing with 10 men if he's not pressing. Yeah. And I think that is the major reason. But Origi done the right thing, man, for his career, bro. Because World Cup's coming up. There's only so much you can take. He was really that's a model professional right there, bro. Man never moaned about anything.
If we could bottle up Origi's mentality and inject it into every bench player that wants to play for Liverpool.
Trust me.
100%.
Because the starting 11 is so strong. If you could bottle up his mentality. And to be fair, though, you could say the same thing about Simi. Simi's waited his turn. And you've seen his quality. And he's been brilliant a lot of the time that he's come in. So you look at Simi, you look at Origi, who's probably the main one for that because he's done it for so long.
So long, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah, it's the longevity with Simi. Like you look at that. Sorry, it's the longevity with Origi. And that's obviously because Sturridge could never do that because Sturridge knew how good he was. Sturridge knew he said, yo, like, I'm the best finisher at this team. I think he come out and said it one time as well. I'm sure he come out and said I'm the best finisher.
He was the best finisher.
And rightly so. Sturridge's my favourite Liverpool player, apart from Gerrard, favourite Liverpool player. So, like, it's one of them ones where you can still know your ability and still be willing to sit on the bench. But then obviously you look at Sturridge and go, he's always thinking 10 out of 10, I'm good enough to play. I generally think Gomez thinks that. That's why he signed the contract. I think Gomez signed that contract because he said, at my best, I was starting alongside Virgil van Dijk.
I agree. Yeah.
And Gomez,
that's the way to be, man.
And Gomez still looks like a beast. Look at him in training right now. He looks incredible. All the injuries he's had, and he still looks incredible. And
he looks
with Sturridge.
That's the Cometio. Cometio needs to be sold or loaned for 7 seasons and then he can. You know what I'm saying?
But with Sturridge, I'm telling you right now, if Sturridge never had injury problems, we wouldn't have no Harry Kane talk. I'm telling you right now.
I think both of them would have played, I wouldn't mind a
Sturridge.
Because Sturridge used to cook with Rooney. Sturridge and Rooney used to do well.
Cooking in the World Cup.
Yeah.
Sturridge is a fantastic player. Fantastic.
Yeah, I've seen that. Like Patman said that replace because what you said about keeping Origi, he said replacing Origi with Mane. LOL. I don't think it's a wild statement for the simple fact of he'd be replacing number 9 Mane. He's not talking about replacing him on the left wing. And if you're asking who's a better striker out of both of them, Origi's the better striker. Don't let the last season fool you. He's a better striker, bro. So it's not a wild take. Replacing him on the left wing, obviously, but let's be honest, Diaz replaced Mane's left wing, and everyone wants to lie to themselves.
Diaz is a better left winger than Mane.
Bro, everyone's trying to live in fantasy land and that like Núñez replaced Mane. He didn't. But even Klopp said it earlier, and then he tried to make it sound better by saying that Diaz and Núñez replaced. No. I heard what you said in the beginning. You said in the winter we brought Diaz in. Because obviously the new Mane was going, he pretty much slipped up on it on the ESPN interview. So and that's what we said as well. You could see it a mile off, bro. That's why he moved him into the number 9 position. Luckily for Mane at the time, Jota got injured because otherwise Jota was scoring at the time as well. And it was clear to see, man. And it's nothing. Also, there's nothing wrong with it. It's not like it's prime Mane that got removed from left wing. It's actually going to prolong his career because Bayern Munich weren't never going to buy Mane as a number 9. But now they're probably thinking about it, innit? I watched his first day there earlier, man. He looks happy, bro. So
do you know what it is? Mane's winger days for me died out in 2020, like 2021. That season.
Yeah, that's when the fake passport started to show through, innit?
Yeah, 100%. And we saw, and people have very short memories when Salah was because Salah was carrying the team at the start of the season. People are forgetting how frustrating Mane was on the left side.
He wasn't good the first half of the season.
And it wasn't just not good. Like Mane kept doing this thing where he tried to step over and the ball just bobbled off his foot. Like his dribbling wasn't right. He was always falling over his back. Like, of course, I think the AFCON was perfect for him absolutely perfect for him.
Perfect.
And it was amazing to see what he could do in that number 9. Shows how versatile he still is. And I think for me, it was combinations that we weren't looking closer at. When Jota was playing in that 9 position, Mane's deficiencies were even more.
Yes.
More bright. You could see those deficiencies from a mile off. And you realize Bobby Firmino obviously does what he does. And now I think rival fans even know how good Bobby Firmino was when he was playing 24/7. But Bobby Firmino, what he done also was hide Salah and Mane's deficiencies very, very, very well.
Certainly did.
Very well. So rather than, you see, Jota, like, this is the difference for me. And I see this a lot of the time. When you look back at Mane's 2019-2020 season, you look back at Salah's 2018-2019 season, both of them, you could say, both of them in both seasons. You look at Firmino, the way he used to assist them, and Firmino would put the ball slightly in front of them all the time. Yeah. We would rarely give the ball to Salah's feet or to Mane's feet. He'd try and make it so they don't have to always beat a player one-on-one. Or, do you know what I mean? He'd make it so. Look at a lot of Mane's finishes in the 2019-2020 Premier League winning season. The ball was often in front of Mane. He'd open his body up and he'd put it in the far corner with his right foot. He'd open his body up. Do you guys remember when Mane had that finish on lock? If he opened his body up, the ball's going bottom corner. Yeah. 100%. If you look at Jota when he's in that position, Jota passes either too far ahead, it's either a little bit behind Mane, or it's directly to his feet. And Mane now has to do the extra bit and beat an extra man when Mane's lost a yard of pace. We can all see he's lost a yard of pace. Salah's not even as quick as he was. Salah's still quick, lightning quick. But these guys have lost a little bit of pace and they're not as reliant on that. So when Jota just, and it's not even just the in front and behind. It's also the weight of the pass and taking care of the pass. Jota has never been that guy. That's not what I expect from him. But there's a reason why combinations work. And Mane's deficiencies showed more prominently because Firmino hit them. And it just is what it is. I think when Mane went up front, Salah's deficiency showed even more.
Yep.
Yeah. It's having that 10 will help boys as well, as you've mentioned today. Potentially coming to this season, that 10 that are picking those pockets of space in and behind a defence, and especially if you've got an out-and-out number 9, and even put Jota up front if you need to, Nunez, Jota up front, Salah, Diaz on the wing, and go 4-4-2. It's just different options in the but I think that 10
it's going to end up being Carvalho there, Because,
big question there, by the way, as well.
Biggest thing about Firmino, I love the guy, man. But the main thing you notice from Firmino is his weight of pass seems to have not. I don't know if it's gone completely, but there's so many times when we're breaking and stuff, and the pass is just underhit. It's very rarely overhit, but it's so underhit it slows everything down. And his shots as well. It's like no power, zero power in them. And I don't know what it is. So hopefully
his goal scoring wasn't too bad, actually. His goals
exactly. At the beginning of the season, he was good, and then he got injured. And then, you know what I'm saying? So,
Bobby plays his best, doesn't he, Savage, when he doesn't have to think about it. Typical Brazilian. Just gets that ball, flicks it round the corner.
He would rather pass the ball than score the goal, innit?
Yeah.
And you see that sometimes. You get a one-on-one and they just do the madness.
It's combinations. I hate the idea of Jota on the wing. But when Firmino plays false 9 and Jota plays out left, it works.
I know. That's the only time it works for Jota.
Huh? But if you told me Jota left wing, I'd vomit, bro. I'll be sick. Like I'll throw up if you told me Jota on the left wing.
Yeah.
But when you saw when Firmino was the false 9 and Jota was playing left wing, Donny was cooking.
Yep.
Jota, I'm looking at. Wait, is this the same guy that I think plays in high heels? I'm like, what's going on here? What's going on here? It's combinations. I generally think when Mane's up top, you don't get the best Salah. You don't. No. When Mane's on the left and Jota's in the middle, you don't get the best Mane.
No, I agree.
No.
When Diaz is on the left and Mane's up top, you get the best Mane of today. It's different combinations. I generally think Klopp doesn't know the best combination at the moment.
It's quite hard though, isn't it? Because even it even changes when you got Tsimikas or Robbo playing. It changes completely. Tsimikas does something completely different to Robbo. And he's a bit more precise with his crossing as well, man. So it's madness, man. But it's a good problem to have, to be fair. It's not like we're choosing between bums.
There's a question here from Pat Man. He says, so genuine question. Do you think your attack's been upgraded or downgraded from last year?
I think as the season goes on, it will be upgraded. Everyone's going to think it's not because Mane's left. But you've got to remember, Diaz last season played 70 games for Liverpool and Porto. But if you put his goals to Liverpool and Porto together, he probably just got the same amount of goals as Mane. So I think Mane will be fine. I think Núñez will score goals. I think Darwin Núñez, he's a goal scorer playing in a team that creates shitloads of opportunities. He's going to score goals, and he's a goal scorer. No matter what people might think, he had one great year and all that, he's a goal scorer. He's going to play in a team that creates opportunities for him. He's going to score goals. So I think at the end of the day, the attack is either stays it is what it was with Mane, or it gets a little bit better as the season goes on. But I said this about Bobby yesterday. I did a video about Bobby yesterday. I said, what's everyone basically did an expectations? What's everyone's expectation of Bobby next season? Because I personally think, I looked at Bobby's stats. Last season was the only season he's never played over 30 games in a Premier League. So this myth about he has injuries and all that, it was only last season. And even last season, he played 27 games. He scored 10 goals and got 4 assists. It's not terrible. You know, it's not terrible. And considering he's not a goal scoring forward, we know what sort of player he is. That's quite good. So I always said, so if you let Bobby go this summer, who you go get in that's going to be not playing much, but still scores 10 goals and gets 4 assists?
I ain't letting Bobby go. He's not allowed.
So
to
do you see what I mean? Though that's how you have to look at it. So, and plus, I don't think Bobby was fit at all last season.
The only player who comes in for Bobby for me is Paqueta. He's the only guy I look at.
Yeah,
he's the only guy I look at that can. I look at and go, yeah, you go do Bobby's job.
But would they be happy doing Bobby's job? The amount of game time he might get.
I think Paqueta is better than people think, and he might even.
Yeah, I know, but I think people downplay the Jota shit too much. This is my problem. Because Jota didn't finish the season that great. The man got 20 goals last season.
I was going to say that's kind of going under the radar.
Yeah, and also the season before that, he was banging goals, but then got that horrible injury, and he was out for 8-9 weeks, weren't he? So Jota's so underrated, it's unreal. If Jota scored 20 goals for Chelsea last season, would you hear the end of it? But for some reason, he scores 20 goals for Liverpool, and even Liverpool fans say he isn't that great. I don't get it.
I'm one of them. I can't lie. Jamie, I'm one of them. No. He's a fox in the box. He's a fox in the box. But
that's what I want. That's what I want.
Yeah, he's a fox in the box, and a part of me does rate Jota, but for me, I just wouldn't play him in the high caliber games.
I think he's better off the left as well. I think he's better off the left.
When Firmino's there.
Yeah, I think he's better off the left no matter what. I really do. I think he's better off the left. I think he'll look better off the left with a Núñez or a Bobby playing in the middle. I don't think him playing off the left and Mane playing in the middle worked for his game because Mane wanted to do the same thing as Jota's doing. So if you've got a number 9 who won't want to do the same stuff that Jota's doing, Jota could look. When Jota came to Liverpool, he played off the left-hand side. Don't forget the goals he scored. That hat trick against Atalanta coming off the left-hand side. The goals he was scoring off there and taking players on. Jota likes to run at defenders. He likes to dribble and run past players and get his shot off or get his pass off. That's what he likes to do. He don't like his back to goal. He doesn't like hold up play. That's not his game. That's why I think Jota off the left is really good. And if you play Jota off the left with a Núñez or a Bobby in the middle, I think you see a very good Jota. With Mane in the middle, it didn't work because they wanted to do the same job.
Yeah. Good luck trying to remove Diaz from that spot, bro.
Oh, Diaz ain't coming out of that spot. That's a problem.
I actually think the only person, I think when Diaz comes off the pitch, Carvalho goes there. I'm not even joking.
Yeah,
eventually he might end up in the centre. But
might surprise a lot of people, man.
If you watch how he played for Fulham, coming from the left side, geez, bro. And we're talking about the way to pass of Bobby, bro. He's got the way to pass, bro. Like he's a problem, man. Yeah, that's a nice problem to have, man. Taking Techie Diaz off to bring Techie Carvalho on, bro. I don't know if our attack's downgraded. The thing is, for me, Tsimikas, Taki and Origi, they weren't really playing in it. So you could say in the cup games for Taki, yeah, that's fine, but they weren't really playing. So basically, it's just Mane being replaced. Is it a downgrade or not? I won't know. But if I go off I can only be fair to Núñez and go off what I've seen him do already, and then go off what I've seen Mane do. In terms of the number 9 role, I don't think there's much difference. I think Núñez will get the goals. I think he's more clinical. So I think maybe we're a little bit better in attack, especially if you're thinking about attacking midfielders as well with Carvalho and Harvey. I think Carvalho makes a massive difference. I don't think people should just be treating him as like this youngster who's might do some. I think he's a dope footballer, man. And
Yeah.
the Championship's not the best quality, but there's still big men he's playing with, trying to kick him up the ball and that. But he's not playing with a bunch of bums, so.
Championship's still better in a lot of leagues in Europe.
Exactly. You could argue that Championship's better than the Portuguese league, to be honest.
Yeah,
so.
It's madness.
I mean, that's the same league Darwin come from. So
no, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That everyone just talking about newness.
League. Yeah.
Ultra says for big moments, Jota has scored semi-final goals.
Yeah, man.
That's a fact.
Scored against City, United, Atletico, and Arsenal. I'll debunk that all right now. Man United. Come on now. I'm not saying it's Man United, brother. I'm not trying to overprop man for scoring against that shit Man United side.
I would agree, but people keep trying to use that. Naby's best game was against United when they were terrible.
Yeah, like them man were actually like arse. They were cheeks. Atletico. Yeah, I'll give them the goal against Atletico. But again, Atletico were cheeks. Go look where they finished in their league. Barely got out of their group. Barely couldn't do much against City. They stepped up against City, but still couldn't get the job done. You look at Arsenal. Jota's the Arsenal bully, but is it that we beat Arsenal is baby food? Arsenal are baby food.
I got that goal though on the chest.
But that goal, but Ramsdale has Anfield grass in his team. He had to floss Anfield
Send Ben
grass
White
out.
Back into Love Island with that move.
Jota is a techie gifted player. He just fell off towards the end of the season.
And obviously the goal against City. I'll give him the goal against City, but for me, we didn't need to be losing that game. We lost that game in transition because we couldn't maintain any attack in transition. We barely hung in that game in the first half. We had to get back in the game courtesy of one good move. I'd rather be in the game rather than having to fight back. And I think that was because of the inclusion of Diogo Jota. That's why. And if you think I'm crazy, why did Jota get subbed off the second he scored?
Oh, I get you. But he's there to score goals, and he scores goals at the end of the day.
Of course.
I think he's a generally good player. I think the problem with Jota last season, when Mane went to the middle, I just think he couldn't play off the left. If Mane
can't play together, period. No.
Exactly. So I think
it's not enough technical ability. I'm sorry, Jota lacks technical ability in transition. He does. He really does. And if Jota was to polish up on that, you've got a player. You have a serious player.
Man, do you know the strangest thing about that statement? You're 100% right, but that's not what happened at Wolves, you know. At Wolves in transition, that was his game. I don't understand why it's completely different here. I don't get it, bro.
But you know what it is? Maybe because the standard in transition is much higher at Liverpool.
Or Klopp turned him into a goal predator instead.
Yeah,
maybe that's probably true.
You know what I mean? Because he probably was one of the more techier ones. Maybe apart from Podence, probably was one of the more techier.
Yeah, it's him and Podence together, man. Podence and Neto.
Go to ask Ronaldo about him. Ronaldo rates him massively.
And you look at even the finishing, Jules. He scores more. His finishing looks better right foot, left foot more than Mane and Salah's. If you go look at finishing, his finishing in training is serious. It's not a joke.
You're right, Jamie, but I think Ronaldo's starting to hate him at Portugal now because he keeps not passing the ball to him. But I've seen some evil looks from Ronaldo.
Because when it's 3-on-2, be honest, do you want Diogo Jota running on the ball? When it's 3-on-2?
No. I'd rather him being without the ball. Yeah.
You'd rather him either be on the end of it, right?
Be on the end of it. When he runs with it, sometimes I'm like, he's going to run into a brick wall, man.
Yeah, I get that. I'm with you on that.
It's because he puts his head down and don't look up and it just goes.
I just want Jota to finish it off. That's all I want. Just get Jota. If Jota scores 23 goals next season, he's top goal scorer. I don't give a shit about the rest of his play.
20 doesn't have to think about the play, Jane. Well. Just get him in the 6-yard box and just finish it off.
Head down thing sometimes it goes crazy. But there's only one person in the Premier who can do that and it works. It's Vardy, bro. He puts his head down and just runs through, man, and kicks it in, bro. But sometimes Jota, man, ain't even looking. He just blasts the ball at people, bro. It's crazy.
First time shooting here and there.
Yeah.
You can say the same about Salah sometimes in his one-on-ones as well.
Yeah, but the thing is with Salah, you know, that's what I always say. Yeah, you can miss all the one-on-ones in the world, but if I know you're going to get 3 more one-on-ones in the next 15 minutes, miss away.
Do you know
that's what Liverpool afford strikers, isn't it? Let's be honest. Our team is built to do that. We work on
facts.
We give you more chances. So, you know, we'll end up with 28 chances and then score 1 goal in that, but we still won the game.
All our best strikers, I would say, in last season at one-on-ones was Sadio Mane. If I had to get one of them to score a one-on-one 10 out of 10, I'd say Sadio Mane probably gets the most. Salah misses a hell of a lot of one-on-ones. So does Jota.
I think first half of the season I would have gone Salah. I'm not gonna lie.
If Salah's on top, like with confidence and that, there's no stopping him, bro. None.
Yeah.
I've seen him miss too many
right
big
foot,
ones.
left
I've seen
foot.
too many big
But
ones.
no, as I said, this is why I think the recency bias kicks in because in the first half of the season,
I'll go from when he
Mane was cheeks at the beginning of the season. Salah was only bad for 3 months.
At the beginning of the season, Mane's one-on-one, the misses that man. Oh my god! Like and same with Salah second half. In fact, do you know what? Salah wasn't even getting one-on-ones in the second half because he wasn't even that good to get in a position. That's how bad he was. That's how bad he was getting at some point.
We had a problem with. I think that's where Darwin will be different. I think Darwin will be our best player on one-on-ones because he's just more clinical. I think one-on-one Darwin's more clinical.
Listen, guys, it's been a ball. I'd love to let this go on, but obviously we are going over. Well, I don't know if you guys. We're going over to Jack's stream, and I don't want to just keep
you lads are invited here as well. All come over.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna, as I said, Pablo, if you're still here, drop the link. Drop the link. I'll just put it in the chat now. I'm gonna drop the link to Jack's video right now. Jack can drop it in the private chat if you want to go. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna move everyone from here over to Jack's stream, and we're gonna just get it started with 50 people from the jump. That's what we're gonna do.
Big.
We're gonna get that moving. But I do need the link so I can put that in the chat.
I can't. I would join you, but I can't because I can't believe I'm going to say this. Savage knows. I'm going to go and watch the next episode of.
I thought you were going to say Love Island there, Jay. What do you mean?
He's gone. I'm going to go and watch the second to last episode of Stranger Things.
Man like Jamie.
I was going to say Love Island. I'm so sure.
No.
I'm so sure. Yeah, Jack, DM me the link, please, ASAP, so I can just get everyone in there. Hugo, how have you found your Big 6 Months debut, bro? Wow, Jack.
It's been dope, man. It's been dope, bro. I love it, bro. You already know the vibes, man. Yeah, me. I'm easy going in that, man. I love me and the man, them just chilling. So, yeah, man. Big up, man. And everyone liked the video, bro. Channel's growing and that. Love it, bro.
Of course, man. Appreciate you jumping on, especially last minute, man. I should have shouted
no
you
problem, man.
Now I know.
Yeah.
Jamie, how'd you find your experience today? Did you get some of your demons out today?
No, I've still got plenty of demons. I can unleash them tomorrow on my watch along. No, demon. It's been great. I always love coming on here, mate. It's great.
Oh, good stuff. And Jack, last but not least, how you feeling?
Too bad, mate. Thank you very much for having me on as well. My debut on the channel. And keep it up, mate, anyway. We'll all support each other on all of our content anyway. We're all one big family anyway. I know it's obviously some aspects we disagree, but that's life. You have to. You can't always bloody agree on everything. But
we're not the same Liverpool fans, innit? That's what makes Liverpool shows. If you had the same opinion, what would be the point of doing the show?
Yeah. No, but thank you very much for asking me to come on, mate. It's great to speak to the lads in the chat as well. And hopefully I'll speak to you soon, mate.
Oh, you lot forgot to tell me how evil Twitter was. You know, I forgot about it, bro. I was off there for years on that.
Oh,
the man have come for. They come for me today, bro. I made one comment, bro, and I shouldn't have made it, bro.
What did you say?
Savage.
I made a comment about Vince McMahon, bro, but now my phone keeps going off, bro. I didn't even mean it like that, bro. The feminists will come after me and that bare rainbow flags and feminists in my chat, bro. Just leave me alone, man.
Well, I told you earlier I had that DM.
Yeah. You got another one. I told you, bro.
I just got another one off the same man. So no one knows.
Man, I'm sending in naked Marte pictures and that, you know, like that. It's mad.
There's this bloke, for some reason, I don't know his name. He's got no name on his Twitter, but he keeps sending me naked pictures of himself in DM.
Oh,
God.
And then like that, he's standing there like that with it all flashing about. And it's like, what is he doing?
Yeah, bro, the place is bad. All I did was told the girls, like, run Vince McMahon his money back, bro, and then he can lock him up in it. But otherwise from that, be quiet. And now everyone's come after me, bro. Run the 12 mil back or shut up, bro. And they come after me, bro.
Yeah, I get that link now, mate.
That's what it is, man.
Have you sent that link over, by the way? I need to get it in the chat before we end it.
Yeah, I was just getting that.
Because I looked on your channel and it's not there for some reason. I'm on your channel now.
Yeah, it's live. It just when it does it.
Yeah, no, YouTube does play up sometimes. Like you go on there and it doesn't have the scheduled video on there sometimes. Like
YouTube's evil sometimes, bro.
They just be doing the mad thing. But we still got 30 odd plus people in there, so we are gonna send everyone.
Drop that on Twitter as well.
There we go.
Yeah, nice
You
one
see-
for that, mate.
You see that?
Appreciate it.
You seen that picture of Kay Gordon at
A festival. Is it?
yeah, Wireless.
Yeah, man.
Big up to him.
Why
I'd
was
like
is
to.
he flying?
He's enjoying life. Good for him.
Good
for him.
lads. Right, there we go.
Alright, cool, guys. Look, there you go. It's in the chat there. Hop over to Jack.
Big up, big up.
Nice
I'll
one.
be in the chat, Jack, because I got some
Yeah.
editing to do. But I'll be in
I
the
was
chat.
gonna say you're welcome to jump on, so if you're not too busy, mate.
Right.
Yeah, if I finish my editing on time, I'll jump on and
Yeah,
but
go on.
I'll be in the chat anyway.
There
Nice
you
one,
go. Everyone, the link is there in the chat. Obviously, Jack, I'll say obviously hop out now while I just
Like that.
finish off
Sounds
my outros and hop
Cheers,
out now.
mate.
And thank you for jumping on.
G'day,
Jamie,
Jack.
Hugo, thank you for jumping on as well.
Right, big up,
Just
man.
gonna
Love,
shout
bro.
out every member on the chat quickly. Just gonna shout out every member on the chat as I
Alright,
do.
bro.
Mandatory.
All right, peace
stuff.
out, chat.
But
Word
good
up,
to
man.
see you guys. Yeah.
All right, thanks, man. Peace out, man.
Take care, bro.
Cool.
Take care. And yeah, what a show, guys! What a show!
Great
I
show,
was,
mate.
I was
Great
a
show.
little bit heated, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Did you enjoy the debate show the other night?
Oh, honestly, I live for those. I live for those.
Oh, have you seen the comment? Go to the comments in it. Oh my
I
God.
have not gone to the.
There's
the
an Arsenal.
Go to me.
There's an Arsenal fan in the comments who just they can't have it that anyone's better than Henry, can they? They just,
Of
they
course.
just can't have it.
Were any of them going at me? Because I had to.
No, they're going at all of us. They're going at all of
Yeah.
us. It's madness.
But listen, guys, just going to pick up the members. Big up Jamie Phillips, who was obviously a member. Aidan Andrews, MUFC Kaz, Ricky, Stefan Duffy, Calm As You Like, Joe Madonka, Ilias, and Daniel. Big up yourself, members
look at that.
of the Big
Smashing it.
Six Bants. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. It's been another episode of Big Six Bants. Make sure you smash that like if you're watching it back. Make sure if you are new here, let's get to 1.71K, which you're very close to. So let's get a 10th of the way to our new road to 1,800 subs. Guys, it's been another episode of Big Six Bants. Make sure you go and subscribe to Jamie Phillips Football as well. And we will see you in the next one.